The miracle of tourism development in Japan. Japan is a sovereign island nation in East Asia and it's located in the Pacific Ocean. In terms of tourism in Japan, one can roughly divide the post-World War II period into 5 sub-periods, which are first, Reconstruction period, second, rapid economic growth period, third, beginning of the mass tourism period, fourth, beginning of the alternative tourism period, and the last period is the World Tourism Nation from 2006 until now. For the first period is Reconstruction period. In the Reconstruction period, due to the Korean War, the economy increased in 1950 to 1953. Although the free time of Japanese increased, but most of the workers still could not participate in vacations. The government of Japan did not allow their people to go overseas because they need more people to help improve their economy. People started to plant palm trees and reconstruct their facilities to make it like Hawaii, and it attracted visitors and tourists in that island until it became a trend. For the second period is called Rapid Economic Growth period. In that period, the migration of many young middle-aged Japanese join the workforce and support the rapid economic in Japan. Some of them go to Tokyo and other countries. In 1964, the Japanese government began deregulating tourism from abroad, mainly because of the foreign exchange rate was already in fixed amount. Japan is the first Asian country that became the host of Olympic Games. In that same year, Japan released their speed bullet train and operate between Tokyo and Osaka. With this change in Japan, the foreigner that came to see the Olympic Games can also feel the first train bullet in the world. The residents became more focused on tourism to make their economy become more increased. But do you know when and how is the mass tourism begins in Japan?
But do you know when and how is the mass tourism begins in Japan? During 1970, Osaka hosts World Exposition for the first time in Asia. People from foreign countries and all over Japan visit the exposition for 6 months. National Railways began its Discover Japan campaign after World Expositions in 1971, which used traditional images such as Shinto shrine, Buddhism temple, and traditional dance of rural towns and villages. After a few years, the Tokyo Disneyland was founded on 14 April 1983, and this park seeks to fulfill tourist expectations. As beginnings of alternative tourism, Japan referred to as bubble economy during 1980 to 1990. Within these 10 years, Resort Act was enacted to facilitate the building of resorts, theme parks, and other types of amusement facilities by private companies. On board passed 10 billion for the first time, and the number of travelers visiting Japan passed 3 billion. Both of these keep increased even since, with the exceptions of brief periods surrounding a few negative events, such as September 11 attacks in the US and SARS outbreak in 2004. Do you know there are more than 14 World Heritage Sites registered since 1993 until now?
A tourism nation. Transport and Tourism created the Japan Tourism Agency, an extra ministerial bureau. Many tourists are willing to pay more than 10,000 yen per hour for the chance to become a geisha momentarily. Moreover, inns that pour menu, labors usually rent daily or weekly, are becoming popular as inexpensive accommodations for tourists. Until recently, tourists have avoided these areas, but now, labor's accommodations are becoming in many aspects for our lives. Tourism is just one of
Created using Powtoon.